I love films, and this year I watched a total of 190 movies, and in this video I'm going to be ranking them from worst to best. I think most of you can guess what the worst movie of this year is. It's War of the Worlds. It's pretty obvious. It's truly amazing, like, how far the film industry has come from, like, Birth of a Nation, Citizen Kane, even Star Wars. And now in 2025 we have War of the Worlds. I think this is the start of a new generation of film. Birdemic. I genuinely, I don't have anything to say. Like, if you've watched this movie, you know what I'm talking about. I have nothing. I watched Hamilton, and I hated it. Genuinely, I actually despise Hamilton. I would actually say I definitely preferred watching Birdemic to Hamilton. I don't know why people like this. It's because, like, if you, like, kinda like, oh, it's alright, I get that. But people love this. They think it's, like, the best thing. I genuinely, I don't understand. I'm against bullying, but if it was a Hamilton fan, I could turn a blind eye. I think this is pronounced the Boondock Saints. What does that mean? No clue. The movie was freaking boring. I only watched it because it was Willem Dafoe and Norman Reedus, and they're like young and sexy, and I was like, awesome, gonna watch that. But no, it's just kind of whatever. The Goonies. My mum was like glazing this movie. It's like the funniest thing she's ever seen in her whole life, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch it with you, sure. But I think it just goes to show how much I don't like this movie because it gave me a headache. I feel like I'm missing something. What is so amazing about this? It's just children screaming for 2 hours. I hate children, and I especially hate children screaming. Like, if your child is screaming near me, I'm considering punching it. So yeah, this was not an enjoyable watch for me. I hate the fat kid. I would punch him. If he was here right now, I would punch him. And like the "hey you guys" thing, my mum says it all the time, just randomly. Is the joke that he is
special?
Is that just the joke? I feel like I'm missing something. Is that the whole joke? Please explain. Green Lantern. This is probably a movie I watched as a kid, and I was like, genuinely, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I saw the TV glow. You should probably get that checked out. TVs aren't supposed to glow unless it's a special glowing TV. But no, I was really excited to watch this because it's I think it's A24. It gives off that vibe. The cinematography and the lighting, it's so amazing. Visually, one of the best, coolest things I've ever seen. All the lighting's pink. It has that little moon guy from that movie from the 60s or whatever it is. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch this. It looks awesome. I put it on, nothing happens. It's like an hour 40 of literally nothing. It feels like what's it called? Proof of concept. Like when you film something to go like, this is what my film's gonna look like, and it's just a bunch of like test shots. It feels like that. Like, who approved of this? Genuinely. And I know the subject matter is like, you know, quite important to talk about, and I'm great they did a film about it, but could they at least do a good film about it? But maybe I'm being dumb. I'm gonna rewatch this. You know, like the really bad live action Death Note movie, but not the Japanese one, the English one. Yeah, I watched that with my sister. She watches Death Note. I'd never seen it because I'm not gay. But she was telling me about this movie, and I was like, what is this? It looks terrible. I wanna watch this. I don't know how you make something this bad about something so cool. Oh, we get Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, and we have this guy, he writes in the book and he kills anyone. But let's make the worst movie possible.
I forgot to record this part, but I hate this movie so much it sucks.
Captain EO is basically a Michael Jackson short film. Kid and Noble told me to watch it, so I did. Yeah, I don't care. Paranoid Park. Yeah, guys, I skateboard. Look, I skateboard. I promise I do. It's not just there for decoration. But no, this is a movie about skateboarding. Someone gets killed on a train tracks near a skate park. You're like, oh, who did it? It's just so boring. Like, how do you get a murder mystery film and a skateboarding film, combine them and make it this bad? You get the two coolest things. They're like literally like merging together to make like rubbish. Guess who the director is? The director of Good Will Hunting made this. That's a good film. That's a good Will Hunting film. And then he makes this rubbish. The Big Short. I only watched this because Ryan Gosling. Even if I knew what was going on, I still wouldn't like this movie. The original Blade Runner. I had seen the Denis Villeneuve one, and I also didn't like that one. I like Denis Villeneuve. I like Dune. I like Prisoners. They're all very good movies. But no, I found his Blade Runner to be just kind of boring. Visually stunning, but boring. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I didn't like the remake. Let's watch, well, not remake, whatever. I'll rewatch the original. I have the, like, the exact, it was really weird. I have, like, the exact same feeling about both movies. It's like, because they're quite different, but similar in a, it's really strange. I don't know how to describe it. Sci-fi isn't a genre I particularly care about. When I watch something, I'm not like, oh, this is sci-fi, I don't care. I'm going in with an open mindset. I'm gonna expect to enjoy it. But no, it's just like, something happens, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I think the acting is great. Genuinely, Ryan Gosling is so good at it. I just like, kind of delivery what he does it in Drive as well. I'm just not interested. You have like a crazy cool city, and like Anna de Armas is topless and going ooh, and she's like all pink, but it's just like, I don't care. What do you make Anna de Armas topless boring? Another one of the best movies of this year, Tron Ares. I think that's how you say it. I don't know, it's just a buzzword. What does Ares mean? I don't know. But no, it's truly amazing how Jared Leto like plays his characters. And again, amazing writing about a guy who wants to 3D print a tree, but he can't do it. But his ex-girlfriend can, so he sends tiny little baby Jared Leto in a computer. He's in a computer, by the way. He transports him out of the computer into the real world. He gives him a bike, and then Jared Leto tracks her down to get the code to 3D print a tree. I might have been a bit drunk when I saw this. And to see Jared Leto deliver all his lines like, Tron Ares, you say? You can watch any of his movies, he delivers his lines in the exact same way. Like, this is just Morbius, but instead of a vampire, he rides a bike. I think it's genius because you would describe Jared Leto's acting as robotic, wouldn't you? And then they cast him as a robot. Thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I don't know what Tron is. I haven't watched any of the others. But I think that's genius. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Yeah, two great films from this year back to back. I don't know the FNAF lore, and I don't care. Don't try lecture me in the comments. I don't care. But it was genuinely so funny to see Josh Hudson try to justify why this movie is good. Because you can tell his PR team were just breathing down his neck saying, okay, they're gonna ask you a bunch of stuff. So what you gotta say is that the movie was fun to make, talk about the animatronics, how they're practical, talk about McKenna Grace, whoever, don't care. But the one thing you have to say is that it's for the fans. Just keep on drilling that in. The movie is for the fans, not for the critics, for the fans. And Josh Hudson's like, okay, sure. Because he's genuinely such a sweet guy. And it's just like, he keeps repeating himself like, it's for the fans. The movie's for the fans. And we just want to deliver the best thing for the fans. And we actually asked what the fans would want. And the fans were like, we want just a horrible movie. Just like bad writing, bad acting. Yeah, just everything bad basically. But the fans will like it since there's a Fazbear in it. And Chica is Megan Fox. But the fans will love it. Fast X. I don't know how it's possible to have a budget of 300 million. Do you know how many millions that is? That's 300. How do you make a 300 million budget movie bad? I don't understand. Where did that money go? I know it probably mostly went to Vin Diesel and The Rock and whoever else is in this, I don't know, I don't remember, Jason Momoa. But like, it's a majority CGI movie. The cars, like sometimes are real, most of the time they're fake. How does it look bad? It looks terrible. The only thing good about this is Jason Momoa, because I think he's gay. He's just very gay in this movie, and it's just really weird, because he's like, I don't don't know who wrote this character, but he's like painting the nails of like dead bodies and like flirting with Vin Diesel. It's really weird. Who wrote this, genuinely? Zombieland, I don't know how you have such a good cast. Like Jesse Eisenberg is such a gem, and like Woody Harrelson, awesome. Emma Stone, how do you get them free? And you're like, let's write a movie with not a single funny joke. Ghost Rider, this is probably the most like hell yeah movie of all the hell yeah movies. American Graffiti, I only watched this because it's like based in the 60s, and I was about to go see Jaws in the cinema, and I just wanted to like get in the mood. But no, this movie is just boring, bro. Old Boy. Aww. Do you like this movie? Yeah, well, you're a weird freak. Like, genuinely, what is appealing about this movie? Like, it's just weird. And I bet some loser watching this is like, yes, he called my movie weird. That's why I like it. Shut up. Tooth Fairy. Wait, take a look at this. I bought this at a charity shop. I was like, am I like having a fever dream? What even is this? I encourage everybody to watch this because like basically Dwayne The Rock Johnson has a gambling addiction and he really wants to gamble. So he takes his child's Tooth Fairy money so he can gamble, you know, as any good father would do. He's gonna double that money. But then the Tooth Fairy community are like, they're like, nah, that's not on, mate. So they forcefully recruit him to the Tooth Fairy force. And for some reason, his like mentor through this is Stephen Merchant. And like when he appeared on screen, I was like, are you supposed to be in this movie? Like, who did the casting for this? Because, you know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a Tooth Fairy, that's funny. And now we need like a guide to help him. Let's get that comedian from the UK. It's just so weird because he's very British. Like getting a British like guide mentor person was fine, but Stephen Merchant is from like, where's he even from? He's from Bristol, bro. It's the most British sounding place ever, and it's just so weird. Who chose Stephen Merchant to play this guy? Like, he's not bad, but it's just like, why? But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I actually enjoyed it. It's actually quite funny. I liked it so much. I got the second one. You might be thinking, that's not The Rock. Yeah, it's not. I don't know who this guy is. Larry the Cable Guy. It's very clearly that The Rock just didn't want to do this, so they just found this guy off the street. Like, look at this guy, bro. But I'm gonna watch this. Ooh, good shout. Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked. Let's go. Wait, this picture's actually tough. Look at this. Wait, look at Alvin there. Can this focus? Look at Alvin, bro. He's sick. I might make that my profile picture, actually. Asteroid City. I'll talk about this later. But I've come to realize that I don't like Wes Anderson's films. Being John Malkovich, I thought I would like this since it's like, you know, weird. Who come up with an idea that you go through a portal and you become John Malkovich for 10 minutes? That's very my mindset. Just a little tip for any directors, you know, I'm clearly very established in the directing field. Your main character, you should probably make them likable, or if not likable, at least like interesting. I'm talking to you, Mr. Old Boy. I don't know who this guy is. He's literally like, imagine a Redditor. That's exactly, that's it. He's just like, imagine a Redditor. That's the whole character. And to watch that for like 2 hours, this is like a longish film, it's like 2 hours. There's like this woman and he just flirts with her the whole film. It's like uncomfortable. I'm watching this like loser. I don't think I've hated a main character more than this. Genuinely. At Eternity's Gate, I thought I would like this as well because it's Willem Dafoe, you know, it's Van Gogh. I like painting sometimes, not really, but this is a good film. Just the cinematography is so distracting. You do not understand. If you've watched this, you know what I'm talking about. The camera, okay, a little shake is fine, a little wobble every now and again is fine, and it's like it gives you a headache, and you're like trying to watch this, but then the camera's like lean off to the right. Oh no, it's going up there. Oh no, oh, it's going down there. And like, he's in the center of the frame. Just keep it. The camera's here. Like, just hold it like that. Like, does the cameraman have Parkinson's or something? Terminator. I thought this was like good as well. This is like the most popular movie ever, and like, it's James Cameron. He's like a good director or whatever. But this is just 2 hours of the Terminator chasing Sarah Connor, and then like every 20 minutes he does a one-liner. Okay, Good one, mate. FNAF 1. I actually have a story with this. So, this came out like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, it'll be 2 years ago. And I was 16 at the time. I went all the way to the cinema. I get there. I'm like, 1 ticket for FNAF, please. I'm excited. I don't care about FNAF, but I'm like, you know, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. That's this video game movie. And then she's like, do you have ID? I'm like, what? What? I didn't know it was a 15, like, I thought it was like a 12, because it's FNAF, it's for like little dumb babies. And also, I didn't look young. I haven't changed in like 3 years. I look like this. Do I look like a 14-year-old? Don't answer that with my purses of men in the background. But no, I just was like, sorry, I don't have ID, because I thought this would be a 12, and I also don't look 12. So I just had to go home, and then I refused to watch it because of that. But then the second one was coming out, and my friend was like, do you want to go see this? I was like, not really. And I was like, okay, I'll have to watch the first one. So I watched the first one. Kind of glad that I just didn't see it 2 years ago. Fountain of Youth. This came out this year. Nobody cared about it. I was like, I like John Krasinski. Sure. This sucks. But I enjoyed watching it. I feel like a lobotomy patient for liking this kind of movie, because I'm like not supposed to. I actually find it kind of funny, even though it was like terribly made. But I think we should feel confident enough to rate a movie how we actually feel about the movie, and don't feel pressure from other people judging us. I think Oldboy sucks, so I rated it low. And if you judge me for that, you're an evil person. So what if I rated Fountain of Youth, a terribly made movie, above Oldboy? I enjoyed it more. Napoleon. The only thing I remember from this is that he's kind of a cook. Like, he's just an incel chud cook. And then at the end, he moves to My Chemical Romance Island. That's a joke for any My Chemical Romance fans who would also watch the movie Napoleon. But he moves to Helena Island, which is a My Chemical Romance song. Trap. This film is really far-fetched. It's kind of messed up how a serial killer can just walk through a crowd, etc. A series of unfortunate events. I unfortunately had to watch this movie. Lol. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I had never watched the Planet of the Apes movies since this year, and I watched them and I instantly fell in love with them. I watched them like all in a row, so maybe that's like weighing on something, but I think this movie like just completely tarnishes the series, because I think the trilogy is great. But it's like, what is the point of this movie? Like, spoilers for the third one, but Caesar dies. And then you'd assume they're gonna like continue it with like his son, because like his son survives. But instead of doing that, they're like, okay, we're just gonna jump time like 50 years and we're gonna follow some random monkey. He's basically Caesar, but not Caesar. He's just a monkey who happens to be the main character. There's nothing interesting about him. He's just a monkey. His city gets destroyed, he's like, leave him, and he runs into a big orangutan. As a viewer, you're like, this seems familiar. I think I remember when the main character is friends with an orangutan and also a child. That sounds very familiar to the film before that. It's literally, you've just got three characters from the third movie and went, let's just give them different names. What is the point? The characters are there. Like, Maurice is just chilling, Caesar's son is there, and there's that human. But why are we making these new characters? They're there, just make a film about them. It's so dumb. It like just completely tarnishes the series. And if you like this, then fair enough, but I just don't like it. Frankenstein, the original from like 1930 something, I don't know. I watched this because, you know, they did a new one this year, but I just think I don't have the mindset for this kind of movie. Like this is 1930, this is 100 years ago, and I just don't think I have the mindset to appreciate this kind of film. Like, this movie probably is good. My brain, I just can't process this as a good movie. It's just, it don't work. Lord of the Rings. I think this is one people are gonna be the most mad at, because everyone loves this. And you know, it's kind of cool. There's this ring, makes you go invisible, but some guy's trying to get it, so we need to throw it in a volcano. So let's go on a 3-hour journey to the volcano, right? You'd assume that's what the movie's about, because that's what it sets up at the start. So you're like, okay, they're gonna go to the big castle, go through the dungeon or whatever, then go to the volcano. It's simple. I didn't realize they don't do that in the movie. They do it in the third one, I assume. Why are we making 3 3-hour long movies about getting there. Someone should do, I don't know, it's not a supercut because supercut is longer. I don't know, microcut, I don't know. But condense the 3 films into one 3-hour movie. I think that would be good because I'm just bored watching this. Like, these some cool scenes, like when they fight all the ogre things in the mine and then the you shall not pass thing. Like, that's cool, but I don't think it's worth the 3 hours just to get like 4 or 5 good scenes. Like, if I'm watching a 3-hour movie, I want a good payoff at the end. If the ending is just like they're fighting a war with some ogres and then they win, I don't care. I throw the ring in the volcano. Why aren't we there yet? It's been 3 hours. Why are we not there? It feels like you're on like a really long road trip and like you fall asleep, you wake up and you're like, we probably are almost there. There's another 6 hours I have to watch till we get there. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, I watch Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. These are like the exact same movies except from Frodo's trying to throw a ring in the volcano, but instead it's Harold and Kumar just want to get a burger from White Castle. They're literally like the exact same. If you watch this, they're like the exact same. Carry On, that released this year, probably completely forgot about it. Probably because it's Die Hard 2, but a bit different and not good. Thunderbolts. I was so confused because I was watching it in cinema. I was like, okay, well, this is okay. It's just like a Marvel film, but instead of the bad guy, the bad guy's like mental health or something. I don't know. Why isn't it some big purple guy with a glove? Kind of dumb. But no, I was like, oh, it's alright, I don't care. But then people were glazing. There's people like, Marvel are back. Did we watch the same film? It was like, okay. It was just kind of like these 5 people who don't really care are just gonna save the day. How is that like Infinity War level good? I'm gonna rewatch this because like I always give movies a second chance unless they're terrible. But I will watch this for a second time because I feel like I missed something. I was gonna rewatch it this year, but it's a Marvel film. I just don't care. Nobody. I watched this because they did a sequel this year, and I was like, you know, I like Bob Odenkirk. I've seen the scene of him on the bus when he's like fighting the people and has like the Doom Eternal music, and it's like, it looks sick. I don't know how to describe it, I just don't like this style of movie. If you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. And like, the bus scene is cool, but that's literally the only cool thing about this movie. It's the same with John Wick. It's like, when you think of John Wick, you think, that's cool. But then when you watch the movie, you're just kind of bored. But then like, something cool will happen, like you'll like, some dogs will start fighting, or like, I don't know, I don't remember them films, all are kind of boring. But it's just the same as John Wick. I just don't really care. Another Marvel film, Captain America Brave New World. What does that mean? No clue. Just buzzwords. This is a cool idea. I kind of completely forgot what this film is about, but I've wrote down what it's about. It's a cool idea, so I'm just gonna believe me 6 months ago. The execution, bad. This is a bad movie, but with a cool idea. And why did we get Harrison Ford to play the Red Hulk? He clearly does not care at all about this role. I think Marvel just really wanted him to play a character, and they just kept giving him money, and he was like, fine, 100 million, sure. And why is the Falcon fighting Red Hulk? Some Marvel nerd is gonna explain, but like, how is that fair at all? We have the Hulk, 10-foot tall, 1,000-pound green thing, but he's red and on fire. You know, we could get like Thor or like Captain Marvel or someone to fight him. No, let's get that guy who has some metal wings and he has like a gun sometimes. Yeah, that's fair. The Running Man, the original one, I thought I'd watch this since, you know, they did a remake. They're loving the remakes this year. But no, this movie is just kind of boring. He just kind of runs about, which, I mean, fair enough, it's in the name. So, I'm getting what I paid for. Yeah, Eraserhead. Is this more controversial than Lord of the Rings? I'm trying to be more free-willed. That's not the right word, but I can't think of it. I did this video last year, and I felt the pressure of, like, I have to rate this good because other people like it. And I feel like if I watched this last year, I would have given this, like, a 4 or whatever. But I'm trying to be more like, I didn't like this movie, so I'm not going to rate it high. And that's exactly what I've just done. I like other David Lynch films. You can see further down this video, I've rated them, a few of them quite high. This one, it just felt boring. I like his style. Like, the style of just kind of like a still shot, big wide empties, kind of just dull and grey and boring. But the tension's there. But I just didn't feel any tension here. I just kind of like, he like has a little baby and is loud and annoying, and he's just kind of miserable and has weird hair. And the story just didn't interest me. Like, his other stories are cool. I like the mystery murder kind of vibe. This one just doesn't have that, and it's just like, I feel like it's style over substance with this one. That was controversial what I just said. Do I take that back? No, I don't. Style over substance. Boom, take that. Weapons. I forgot to watch this when it came out, so I watched it the other day. I don't like horror movies. You'll see there's a very recurring theme that I don't like horror movies. I think they are lazy, just kind of like shock factor. Ooh, this guy's scary, and there's gonna be a foot sound effect, and he's gonna go boo. So I just don't watch them. You know, I feel like I should watch this one since it's like one of the biggest movies of this year, and I just don't get the point of this one. This one's not actually that scary. There's only like 3 scary scenes. It's just like, these kids have gone missing. Let's try find out who it is. Well, maybe it's the weird, creepy old woman who has like she has like my trim, but horrible, and she looks like an evil goblin. Maybe it's hair. Who else could it be? Genuinely, what other character in the film would have done that? Because it goes through like each character's perspective. That's a cool concept. I like that. Like, they do that in Knives Out, but the thing in Knives Out, you don't know who did it. This you do, because it's very obviously the creepy old woman who shows in like their dreams, and then she's just kind of in it doing like weird voodoo stuff. And you're like, well, yeah, it's her. Then she does like a snapping the stick thing, and you're like, okay, yeah, well, I could have guessed that. But I just find it dumb. Like, what was the point of the movie? Why are we showing all these characters' perspectives? And it just feels like I've wasted half an hour going like, the cop arrested the crack addict, and then the crack addict told the cop where the kids are, and then he gets thingied. I don't care. Why is this being shown? It adds nothing to the film. But I enjoyed the ending. The ending was fun with like all the kids going crazy chasing it. That was funny, but nah. I just didn't really enjoy this. Barbie. I forgot to watch this when it came out. I thought this was good. People like this movie. Why is it so badly made? Like, this is not the quality I expected for like a movie with this much budget. Like, this is one of the like best performing movies of all time, and it's just like, okay. Caught stealing. I thought I was gonna like this as well. You have like 2 of the most like attractive actors in like the last few years, Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz, and you're like, okay, so basically this movie is Austin Butler just kind of running her away from people, and Zoe Kravitz, spoiler alert, she dies in the first 20 minutes. Good one, yeah, nice. And also Matt Smith from Morbius is like punk or something. Like, he's got a massive mohawk. And Matt Smith, I don't know if you know this, but you're British. You don't need to like force a British accent. Like, you're from Northampton, mate. Why are you forcing an accent? You're British. Your voice sounds like that. A good way to write a story is when something happens, it's either and or but. So Austin Butler gets hit by a car and this happens. Austin Butler finds his money, but this happens. But there's no buts. It's just Austin Butler does something and he does this, and then this happens, and then this happens, and it just keeps going, and just stuff happens, and there's no consequences. Like, he just gets away with everything. He's literally been chased down by like the police and like the mafia, but he just keeps getting away with it. He gets like stabbed, I'm pretty sure, and he just carries on running. Buffalo 66. This seems like the kind of movie that I would like, and I was enjoying it. I was like, I quite like this. I'd probably rate this like a 3.5 or a 4 for the first like half an hour. But then like, it feel like they wrote up to that part and then they just kind of winged the rest, because the rest of the movie is just like, just drags on. And it's like, if this was a short movie and it was like only like half an hour long, I think I would rate this like a 4. But the thing is, because it's like an hour 40, it's just like there wasn't enough substance to make this long of a movie, and they just kind of dragged it out, and it's just like, oh well, whatever. Again, now to the Wes Anderson films. I had only seen Fantastic Mr. Fox as a child. I like the book, I like the movie. It's good. I rewatched it this year. But people love Wes Anderson. Like, people think he's like the best director ever. So I watched The Grand Budapest. That's a bit high on this list. I like that one. I'll talk about that in a minute. I was like, okay, Grand Budapest is good. I'll watch some other ones. So I watched The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And I was like, well, it is not as good as Grand Budapest, but it's alright. I gave him another chance. And I watched The Royal Tenenbaums. and again, it's alright. So then I gave him another chance, and I watched Rushmore, it's alright. So then I watched the Phoenician Scene that came out this year. It's alright. Like, they're all just alright. Like, I like the style, it's nice pretty colours, deadpan delivery, I like it. But it's just like, I like that style, but it just don't evoke much emotion from me. And like, that's what I want from a film, to evoke emotion. And like, when you have Bill Murray as a big character and all his lines are delivered like this, and he just looks so depressed, and it's just like, the style is so fun, but then like the delivery is just so monotone, and it's uninteresting, quite frankly. Like, I like these films, but they're just not good, you know? Like, the ideas are cool, and the directing is good. I would say the directing is good for these ones, but I just don't find them interesting. But I didn't like Asteroid City. These four, I would say, are style over substance. It's sort of like 60% style and 40% substance. I would say Asteroid City is 80% style and 20% substance. There was like nothing much interesting about Asteroid City. The Smashing Machine. I think they named the movie after me because I have a lot of sex. Interview with a Vampire. If you like this movie, you're genuinely a freak. It's just weird, bro. It's just a movie about very horny vampires for 2 hours. Why are they horny? It's so weird. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Ben Affleck plays a character which makes fun of Ben Affleck, and then he also plays Ben Affleck, which I think is really funny. 300. Can we talk about the design of this? Because why does this look like a 9? This looks like 309. And I thought it was like a sequel. Like the sequel was called 309 because it's like 9 years later. But no, it's just bad logo design. This movie looks so cool. I've seen clips from it. The visuals, they look so cool. So I got the DVD. I put it on and it was like, do you know at the beginning when it says like starring whoever, all the credits? And I was watching it. You know what pops up? Directed by Zack Snyder. My face sunk. Zack Snyder cannot make movies. I don't know why he's made so many. I think somebody should have gone, actually, these movies aren't good and we should probably stop him from directing. What did Jack do? Yeah, this is probably my favourite David Lynch film. You probably haven't heard of it. It's kind of niche. Just my personal favourite. Sliver. Funny story, when I was like 10 or something, I was on YouTube, I saw a thumbnail, a girl in a bath, and you know, 10-year-old me, I was like, I'm clicking on that. It was a clip from this film. If you watch this, you know where this is going. But 10-year-old me was just watching this, waiting for my girl or slip or something, you never know. For people who don't know, this film is about these little slugs and the parasites, and it's like Alien. They like jump on your mouth and then like lay an egg inside of you. Yeah, basically they get the girl in the bath, and 10-year-old me was traumatized. I still like have it visioned in my mind, and I never knew the movie. I had the memory of watching that clip, and I was like, I tried to search up movies about slugs, I couldn't find it. But then because James Gunn directed Superman, and I was looking at his profile, I saw that he directed this. I was like, oh, what's that? That looks a bit different from his other movies. I was like, I think I recognize this. Oh my god, it's that. I'm not a big fan of body horror stuff. There's a lot of gross, disgusting, slimy people in this, but no, there's actually alright. Mickey 17. I was excited for this because director Bong Joon-ho, people love his films like Parasite, Memories of Murder as I was called. I thought it was going to be like the same level of Parasite, but this film just doesn't feel like he made it. Like, it doesn't feel like the same director. At first, I thought maybe since he's Korean and this is an English film, I thought maybe there was like a language barrier or I don't know. But no, Snowpiercer, one of his other films, is majority English as well. So I was like, okay, well that's not the reason. I just don't really understand why this isn't as good as his other films. I just feel like his style of movie is like, it was kind of like that dark humor, but like the dry dark humor, but like a more like a little quirky style to it. I don't think it fits this style. Parasite fits that style. Oh my god, another Jurassic World movie released this year, and it was okay. Wow, I couldn't have guessed. Oh no, we made a giant scary dinosaur and it's gonna kill everyone. We did do that in the other movie, and the one before that, and the one before that. We just keep doing it for some reason. Like, it never works out, but you know. Garden State, I only watched this because Natalie Portman's in it. Look, I got Anchorman, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll watch this, it looks funny. I got both of them. They came together. I was like, oh, nice. It's quite rarely that a sequel is as good as the original. I love both of these. These are genuinely, like, very funny. Donnie Darko. It's okay. David Lynch's Dune. I felt like I kind of like had to watch this since I was watching David Lynch's filmography and this is his third film. So I watched Elephant Man, then I watched Eraserhead, but I didn't enjoy Eraserhead and I knew this wasn't like his best movie. So I went to Blue Velvet and Lost Highway, then I went back to Dune. And you know, people say it's bad. I actually don't think it's bad. It's like, alright. Just feels lost. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like messy and like falls short. There's like not much to it. Pee-wee's Big Holiday. My friend asked me who my favorite director was and I actually didn't have an answer. I had to think for a second. At first I thought Robert Eggers since I have watched 3 of his films this year and I've liked them all. And then I thought no, it's probably Tim Burton. So I've watched a few of his films this year and I'm probably gonna watch the rest next year. I knew his first film, his like first proper film was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I was on Netflix and I was with my sister. My sister's also trying to watch all of Tim Burton's films. We saw Pee-wee's Big Holiday and we just put it on. We didn't notice that this wasn't the Tim Burton one because it started and this movie was made in the 80s and I was like, why is the camera so good? This does not look like 80s. But then I was like, alright, it's probably like they remastered it or something, I don't know. But then the guy from Magic Mike shows up. That was like 10 years ago. How is he here? So then I looked it up. It turns out this is like the sequel from like 2014 that just some random guy directed. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not even Tim Burton, but I'll carry on watching it. This is a terribly made movie. It's very bad, but the thing is, it's extremely funny. Like, this is the most I've laughed this year while watching this. Like, there's a part where he gets like a really weird haircut and it's like a helicopter, and then some woman lies like, oh, you got a weird haircut, and then she jokes about, can you fly it away? Then he just rips out of control and his hair just flies away. Ocean's 11. I thought I would like this since I watched like an analysis video like a few months ago before I watched it, and like it was saying how like the cinematography is perfect, the acting, the writing, it's like amazing. I was like, oh, okay, I'll get it. But this movie could have been so good. The type of movie is there's like 11 characters. There's 11 characters and they all like have a part in this bank robbery. And you would think, that's so cool. We get like 11 people. We get to like stereotype them, make them like whatever. But like, I couldn't name more than 3 characters. There was George Clooney and Brad Pitt, who are just leaders, but they're just like guys. And then there's Matt Damon, who is like a noob. What did the other characters do? Like, you have such a cool concept of having 11 different people trying to rob this bank. Half of them do nothing. What's the point? And it could have been so good, but it's not. Like, how do you have Don Cheadle playing a demolition expert and he has 2? He's in 2 shots at most. I'm not even joking. What is the point? Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I thought I would like this since I watched 2 Wong Fu this year, and they're very similar movies. This actually came out a year before. I'm pretty sure 2 Wong Fu just copied, but never mind that. So I was expecting to like this, but I just didn't. Like, my problem is, okay, you're making a film about drag queens. You're obviously gonna make them, like, crazy extravagant. And they do that. They do. But then they're also just kind of, like, boring, normal people. And like, if I'm watching a film about drag queens, I don't want to watch boring normal people. Sorry to stereotype drag queens, but they seem pretty interesting to me. But these characters are just kind of boring. I think it's the fact I watched 2. I think that like weighs in why I didn't like this as much. I thought 2 Wong Fu was amazing. I loved it. And just in comparison, this just isn't good. Naked Gun that came out this year. The hardest I laughed this year was the scene when the guy has like the thermal goggles and he's like looking through the curtain. I can't see what happens in the video. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. The Running Man. When I watched this in cinema, I was like, yeah, I like this. This is a good film. But then like, it was like a month later, I was just sat down thinking about it. And I was like, wait, that wasn't actually a good film. Like, I just like, it had like a hypothesis, I don't know the word, and I was just like, this movie wasn't good, because I give it a 3.5 at first, which is like a good movie for me. Then I changed it to a 3, which is like an alright. Okay, Edgar Wright is a good director, we all know that, and he's been trying to make this movie for like 10 years, so I was like, ooh. I've only ever seen Baby Driver and Shaun of the Dead. I haven't watched the other ones, and he's very famous for his comedy and his good cast. I don't think it's his fault, I think it's the studio. But why is Glenn Powell the main character in this. He cannot play this character. I'm thinking back and I'm like, how did I rate this good? The main character is so bad. Like, he's supposed to be a flawed character. He's trying to provide for his family. He just lost his job because of his anger issues. So now he's competing in this game where he could die for lots of money. But just everything he does is not how people don't act like that. Like, if you've seen this film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Unless you're an idiot and you rated it high like I did at first. Just it's not like one specific, every single thing he does, I'm like, people don't do this. Like, I can't remember what it is, but someone's asking him, like, his last name or something, and he full on just punches, like, bulletproof glass. Nothing happened. What are you doing? I don't think it's Glenn Powell's fault. I do think it's bad casting, and I don't think he can play this character, but I think it's the writing, because I'm gonna cut Edgar Wright some slack. This was a big budget. It was like 300 million. I assume Warner Brothers or whoever it was like, okay, you can do this, this, and this. And then he probably sent them a script, and they were like, nah, mate, you can't do that. And he was like, okay. So he had to change it 100 times. But there's this scene where he hijacks this woman's car. Glenn Powell was poor, and he's trying to make money. Rich people don't like him because he, like, killed someone else. I don't know. So this woman hates him. She's like, how dare you kill them people? And Glenn Powell's like, I didn't kill them people. They deserved it. And she's like, well, I don't like that. And he's like, yeah, well, I've been through a lot, okay? My family's poor, and my baby's about to die. And she's like, damn. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything of what I just said. When has an argument like that ever happened? What are we doing? Every single person in the world has been told this man is a child killer. She thinks that he has killed a child. And then she has 5 seconds and she's instantly like, yeah, you're actually a chill guy. Bro, how weak-minded could you be? How to Train Your Dragon, the remake. They're doing a lot of remakes. The original is in my Letterboxd top 4. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my favorite childhood movie, and I watched it twice this year. I cry at it every time. So when I heard they was doing a live action, I was like, I don't really care for that, but I will watch it. It's literally the animated movie, but in live action. This must have been a long conversation in the pre-production. We're in, like, Norway, or I don't know where Berk is set, somewhere in the Arctic Circle, aren't I? But you have this miserable island, it's horrible weather, and dragons are literally killing people every day. How do we color grade this? Because we can't make it nice, bright, and colorful, because the animated one isn't bright and colorful. So instead of just making it kind of like natural colors, instead of just making some of it gray, they make everything gray, and then as well, the brightness, let's just zoom that all the way to the bottom. Why is it so dark? I cannot see anything. You have a movie about colorful bright dragons and Vikings fighting them, and I cannot see a single thing. It's so dark, it ruins the movie. This could have been good. I probably could rate this like a 4. Since I cannot see a single thing, it's a 3.5. And the fact that it's a useless remake. Companion. I wish Sophie Thatcher was my companion, if you know what I mean. Pearl. I wish Mia Goth was my companion, if you know what I mean.
21.
21 Jump Street.
21.
Do you know when you just see a movie poster and you're like, that's cool as heck? And I saw this poster, that's a cool top. And she had like cool hair. I was like, I don't know what this movie is about, but I'm gonna watch it. And like, nobody has seen this. It's just like, basically April lives with her boyfriend in New York, and April is kind of like useless. She can't do anything. And her family, her mum is dying of cancer, and then they're like, this is probably our last Thanksgiving together, let's go over to April's. And they're like, April, she's such a bum, she can't do anything, we hate her. And April's like trying her hardest to do stuff, and stuff just keeps going wrong. Eventually, in the end, everything goes right and everyone's happy, and it's really sweet. It's just, I got a bit emotional at the end. The budget of this movie is probably like, I don't even think it's in the 6 figures. Like, it's literally probably like 50k, and like the camera, probably like just a Sony Handycam. But I think that elevates it so much. The fact that it is just like a cheap camcorder, probably like a grand at most, just adds so much to the vibe, because it's literally just a guy holding a camera, or like it's just on a tripod in a kitchen, and it probably like is like one of the members of the crew's kitchen. It feels so like real, since it is just like a normal kitchen, a normal apartment, and you have like a cheap camera. It feels like a home video. It's so cute. I love it. The Grand Budapest Hotel. This is a good movie. Lords of Dogtown. This is better than Paramount Park, because I like skateboarding, but there's like no skateboarding films. Obviously like Back to the Future has skateboarding in it, but it's not a skating film. Paranoid Park shows skating, I would say decently well, but there's not much of it. Skating is only like a part of it. And the movie's about skating. This is like literally the only movie where the solid focus is skating. But then instead of like the skating that we all know, it's a true story. It's based in like the 60s and 70s. It was nice to see what like the culture, where it started and everything. But like, why has nobody done a skateboarding movie? If anybody knows one, please comment. I will watch it. This is good. This is a good movie. It's just it's 60s skateboarding. Do you think I care about that? Ballerina. Imagine John Wick, but instead of a really attractive man fighting other men, it's a really attractive woman fighting other men. But no, this is literally just a John Wick movie without John Wick. It's kind of boring, but then has like a few good scenes. She kills people with ice skates. She's like swinging them around. She like cuts their throat open. It's sick. And then like 10 minutes later, for some reason, like everyone just has a flamethrower in this. I don't know why. No, some guy's trying to like light her on fire with a flamethrower. She gets like a fire hose like on a fire truck, and then it's literally like doing Harry Potter when they do the spells and it like meets in the middle. It was like that, but with a flamethrower and a fire hydrant thing. I was like, what is going on? Rogue One. This is kind of like the outsider of all the Star Wars movies, because you have the original, the sequels, and the prequels, and this one is just kind of like a little side thing. People love this, and I can understand why, because the original 3 are good, the prequels are okay, and then the sequels, it doesn't have the heart of Star Wars, and I feel like this does. It's just the fact that the story is just not interesting at all. Like, if you're making a Star Wars movie, why would you want to make it about this? Like, it's cool, but this could have been like an hour long, but it's like 2 hours. And if you love Star Wars, this is probably the coolest thing ever. You're like, oh my god, that was a secret hidden in whatever. But I think Star Wars is good. I just don't really care. People say the last half an hour is amazing. It's just good. It's not amazing. Twinless. I was excited to watch this because on Letterboxd, the little like banner thing is like them two, but with the Sims icon above their head. I don't like to look at what a movie's about before I watch it. I just kind of go on like vibe or whatever. This looks fun. I'll watch this. Something about The Sims, I don't know, it's like some weird gay filmmaker making this, I don't know, it's probably good. But no, it has nothing to do with The Sims. I was disappointed, but I still enjoyed this. I can't really say what the movie is about without spoiling it, but basically there's these 2 twins, like 2 different set of twins, they both die. And then these 2 twins, they bond. But then it reveals that one of them was lying. But you should watch this, it's good. Friendship. This came out last year in America, this year in the UK. That annoys me. Why do films do that? I didn't know who Tim Robinson was before this. I now know he did like SNL and stuff, but he's genuinely so funny in this. I love how he plays this character, and like his only goal is to be friends with Paul Rudd. Like, for real, dude. Frankenweenie. It's one of Tim Burton's like early short films. It's really cool to watch this kind of thing because he was like 20 when he made this, and like it's nothing like his other films, but also exactly like his other films. Like, you can see his style in like one of his first things ever, and it's like, it's so cool to see that kind of thing. You got Shelley Duvall in this. That's awesome. 28 years later. If I was Danny Boyle, I would have waited till 2030 so I could release this, because then it would technically be 28 years later. A big problem I have with films that do like part 1, part 2, part 3, like June. The thing is, the first one is always gonna be kinda boring, because if you think of any film ever, normally the first half an hour, not much happens. But then the thing is, a film like this, which is part 1, is the first like hour of the film, but dragged out a bit. So it's like kind of like 45 minutes of content is shoved into an hour, so it just feels kind of boring, and I don't get it. I would rather just watch like a 3-hour 30 movie than 2-hour long movies. I just think that's such a better thing. But you know, this was still good. It had its moments. The cool like iPhone around the characters is cool, but I'm excited for part 2. It's releasing like a few days. No Country for Old Men. I don't understand why people love this so much. I know that Javier Bardem has like the best portrayal of a psychopath. He's genuinely amazing in this. Like, he deserves an Oscar for this. But the movie itself, the same problem with Blade Runner. Like, the tone, they kind of do with the tone where nothing much happens. It's like quiet and dull. I just think doesn't work. See, for David Lynch, he's weird. He can get away with making a film where it's kind of like not much happens and it's kind of eerie. I feel a movie like this can't get away with this. 8 Mile. This film could have been good, but I think the fact is Eminem just completely ruins it. K-pop Demon Hunters. Do you know I was a day one K-pop Demon Hunters fan? I watched it the day it came out. I was just on Netflix looking at stuff and I was like, K-pop Demon Hunters? What is that? It's the worst thing I've ever heard. What a terrible name. Yeah, sure, I'll watch it. And then I saw Sony made this. I was like, oh, they made Spider-Man. And that's like amazingly animated. Sure, this should be good. I actually enjoyed it. I think if you don't like this movie, you are a negative person. And you're just mad that like little babies like this. How dare children have fun watching a movie? This is a good movie. The Lost Boys. Oh my god, Death Grips reference? What the heck? Beautiful Boy. I thought I would like this more than I did because I've seen clips from this. He's like listening to Nirvana. He's like depressed and like does heroin or whatever. Seems awesome. This is a good movie. It's just I thought I would love it. I thought I was expecting to rate this like a 4.5 and then I just ended up rating it a 3.5. I did cry a little at one scene. When watching it, I wasn't like, this is a good movie. I was just like, yeah, it works and it makes me sad. I expected to really like it and I just kind of liked it. Paris, Texas. This is actually quite similar to No Country for Old Men because people love both these movies and I just feel like nothing happens in them. And this movie is so long and I do not remember a single thing from it except from like 2 things. All I remember is that he don't talk and then the last scene with the girl with blonde hair and the pink jumper, because that scene is amazing. I could see why it could be one of the best movies of all time with that scene. Why is this just so long? Nothing happens. I don't want to sit there for 2 hours and just watch like basically nothing. Just cut this down shorter, please. Together, like I said earlier, I don't care for horror, stupid genre, pointless. This is body horror, which I also think is probably even worse than normal horror because it's just like, oh, this guy's mangled and not good. And I'm not a big fan of that. I started watching The Substance, I turned it off, I couldn't watch that. But then with this, it didn't look disgusting, it's just kind of people merging. This is very well written. I'm gonna rewatch this because I love movies that kind of have like a plot twist at the end. They start with like a simple premise, oh no, these people are like connected weirdly somehow, but then I am not gonna say what happens, but then something is revealed at the end and it's like, whoa, that's actually cool. But if you didn't see this, go see it. If you don't like body horror stuff, there's a few scenes, but it's worth it. It's good. Zootopia 2. I actually really like Zootopia 1. The like early 2000s Disney films are all good, but then this one was like 2014 or something, and like that era of Disney, it was good, but obviously not as good as like WALL-E or like Toy Story. Like you have like Frozen and stuff, and like Frozen is good. And Disney have been like, they're going crazy with their sequels. They just found out, wait, if we just kind of make the same film, we can get away with it and make like $1 billion each time. So when I found out there was Zootopia 2, you'd assume I was like, oh, that's dumb. But genuinely, I'm glad they did this. I think this is one of the few films that deserved a sequel. Because like, the world they created with the first one is so good. Like how all the animals like react and have their different zones. Like they didn't really use that in the first one. They like went, this is where the frozen ones live, this is where the forest ones live, but they didn't really like go into details about that, and I'm glad they did it with this one, because like they talk about like the origins of where the wolves come from. A theme of the first one was discrimination against like foxes and even rabbits, and they continue with this one by just every animal hating reptiles. They slowly learn, hey, these are actually just animals, so whatever, and I think it's a great metaphor. If I was a child watching this, I'd probably be like, yeah, racism is bad. Then after reading another Coen film, I love the dialogue so much. I don't know where I've seen this style of dialogue before, but I know I have. I watched Fargo and I was like, this is so good. I wished I could write dialogue this good. I don't know how they do it. It's like so perfect. It's not so much in this one, which I wish it was, because it's so funny. I would love this movie, but it's just like, they don't have the dialogue that much in this one. It's just kind of like, sorry baby. It's okay, what's wrong? I don't think I can talk about this without getting this video age restricted. It's rap with an extra letter on. So I'm just gonna say rap. But basically, the main character is studying at school and a teacher raps her. You can't show that unless you do, but I'm glad they didn't. And the way they showed it is very good, because she goes over to his house and he's like, you know, with her, and she's clearly like, no. And then you think, oh, they're gonna show this, but then they don't, and they cut away to a shot of the exterior of the house. It's just a simple shot of the house, but it's not a time lapse, but it cuts to like, because it starts at day, then it cuts to like sunset, then it's night, and then when it's night, she walks out the house and she's clearly very distressed. And I genuinely think that's amazing, because like a boring director would just show it, but this director was like, no, I want to show it like this, and I think that's great. But I think I discovered something when watching films this year. I like films where lots of stuff happens. If not much is happening, then I'm probably not gonna rate it high. And like, this is a good movie, and I think I will rewatch this, because a lot of people are saying this was one of the best films of the year, and I wouldn't say it's one of the best. Out of the ones I watched, probably like top 15 maybe. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. Just not much happens, and I don't find that interesting. Speaking of rape, The Apprentice. Yeah, it's really weird seeing Bucky Barnes play Trump. It's so strange. I'm so glad a movie like this got made about such a prominent figure in like American society, and the fact that it showed everything, I don't know how they got away with that, and I just think that makes the movie like 10 times better, because I think if they didn't show them kind of things, it would be kind of pointless and just kind of like, oh, so this guy Trump, he like got some money and he's like the president. But I think the fact it showed the things he did, love it. What We Do in the Shadows. I didn't know what this was. I just saw vampires, comedy. That's awesome. Taika Waititi, he's a good director sometimes. I didn't know this was a mockumentary, and I love The Office. Wow, a white guy loves The Office, what the heck? But this is genuinely so funny. I love this. I want to rewatch this, and I think I will rate this higher. I didn't know there was a TV show. I've just never heard of this. I don't know why. Should I watch the show? I don't know, because I know it's like a different director, different actors, but the same characters, I think. Normally that means it's bad, but the reviews are good. Every episode is like a 7 or 8, so should I watch it? Comment. Okay, we're just gonna speed run a few here, because this video is long enough. 28 Days Later, pretty cool. Magazine Dreams, it's like Joker and Whiplash put together, but not as good. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Monkey, funny, he talks. The Ballad of Wallace Island is pretty good, but has a bad ending, but it's still really sweet. Batman, I love you, Tim Burton. Wicked, I watched this because they did a part 2 this year, forgot to watch it. I regret watching Wicked, but it was still good. 10 Things I Hate About You. Heath Ledger's Fit. Tropic Thunder. Very funny. Super funny. But I'm a Cheerleader. RuPaul plays a homophobe, which is very funny. War for the Planet of the Apes. Better than the first one, but not as good as the second one. Avatar. I lived my whole life thinking I had watched this movie. I think the reason why I thought I had watched this was because I went to Disney World when I was like 10, and there's like an Avatar ride there, and I think that's the only reason why I thought that I had seen this. But I put this on, I've watched this before, I'm gonna rewatch it since Fire and Ash. But I was like, wait, I've never seen this before. Okay, yeah, sure, this is good. Back to the Future. Okay, so I study media at college, and for homework, sometimes we have to watch movies. So some of these movies on here are for homework, and we had to watch Back to the Future for homework. But instead of doing it at home, we did it at college, so whatever. And we watched it in our college's theatre, and like, that's fun. And with my whole class, we get to watch a pretty fun movie. I've never seen it before. But I'm gonna slag off my college for a bit, because when the theatre, there's like a big projector. It's like a proper like movie theatre kind of thing. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, why does it look like this? First of all, didn't even turn off the lights. The lights are on. Who watches a movie with our lights on? It's my college. I'm not expecting like some 4K Marty McFly's like coming out the screen talking to you and whatever. The video was literally like, it wasn't even 720p. It was like the worst quality video I've ever seen. The audio was delayed by like half a second. As an editor, that was the most infuriating thing ever. And then since it was like streaming off a laptop and the laptop just wasn't plugged in, so it was the last like 20 minutes and like Marty is about to like go Back to the Future. It's about to happen and then the laptop just dies. So I was like, oh, so I guess we just don't know what happens at the end. I did rewatch it on a plane, so I know what happens now. F1. This is like the cheese sandwiches of movies. It's the most bland thing ever, but it's still good. The Guilty. I only watched this because Jake Gyllenhaal, and obviously I'm gonna watch that. And I didn't realize this has bad reviews. It has like a 3.2. That's like, okay, this is a good movie. Like whenever I rate something high and I see it as low reviews, I'm like, did I miss something? Maybe I did. Is there something wrong with this? Because it's literally just Jake Gyllenhaal and he's just calling people, then he gets mad. And it's like, it's interesting because it's like a one location thing. Like there's hardly any other perspectives. It's just Jake Gyllenhaal in a room, just kind of depressed. Like all of his films. I feel bad for him. Terminator 2. Terminator. I hardly know her. Eddington. I did not expect this movie to be as good as it is because the poster, what even is it? I still don't understand what this poster is supposed to be. Maybe it's like a metaphorical or something. I don't know. There's just some buffaloes tumbling down a hill. I was like, I don't know what this is about. And then I saw it was A24. It's like, okay, could be fun, could be gay or something, I don't know. Then I read the synopsis and it's like 2 people try and get mayor. I'm like, that's the most boring thing I've ever heard. But I will watch it because A24 is cool and it has decent reviews. So I'm watching this. The first half an hour is fine. It's just like, I'm just like, oh, it's COVID. That's kind of weird. Like, you have the entire history of humanity and you decide to set a movie in 2022 during COVID. I don't know why Ari Aster did that, but you know, do whatever you want, man. And it starts off as like a simple drama, but then there's just like, it's like one of the best like genre shifts I've ever seen. It's so seamless. I couldn't tell you when it happened. I think it's around halfway. It's like randomly he decides to shoot someone and I'm like, okay, this is becoming quite an extreme drama, but you know, maybe that was the furthest it's gonna go, because it doesn't seem like the type of movie to do that. But of course it's Ari Aster, so it's gonna get crazy, and it turns into a full-on like, it's like an action kind of, it's like a thriller action. It just complete genre shift. It's actually, I love it. And the last sort of like 45 minutes, very good. I liked it. I was thinking, oh yeah, it's alright, but after the last 45 minutes, yeah, this is a very good movie. Lost in Translation. I like when Bill Murray is just kind of depressed in all his movies. Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knives Out. I'm glad they're doing Knives Out because they're good films. I like the mystery in this one. It's not as engaging as the first one, but still, it's interesting. I love Josh Brolin. He's awesome. Spoilers, but who else cried when Jeremy Renner died? I genuinely, I fell to my knees. Jeremy. If only there was a place I could talk about this online on a social media app. Zodiac. This movie is very boring. I can't lie. I was bored for most of it. But then sort of like towards the end, I was like, wait, this is actually kind of cool. The first like an hour 30 of this, boring as heck. I can't remember a single thing, I'm gonna be honest. Then when they started being like, oh, it could be this guy, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it could actually. And then one of the best scenes I've ever seen in any movie ever is when Jake Gyllenhaal, again, is in that house and then he's like, so many basements in California. That is genuinely one of the like best lines I've ever heard. The like next 2 minutes after. If you haven't seen it, then you don't know what I'm talking about, but genuinely it's so good. I'm gonna rewatch this because I feel like I was expecting just like a casual movie, but then it's like freaking 2 hours 30 or something, I don't know. So I'm gonna rewatch it with a different mindset. I was quite like, oh, this is boring, but then it got good, so I'm gonna rewatch this. Avatar Fire and Ash. Wow. I like when James Cameron invents a whole new species. These fire people, they're sexy, they're crazy, they're gonna kill you. And then they don't do anything the entire movie. They're just villain number 2. But you know, the films are good. Lost Highway. I'm gonna be honest, like Zodiac, I don't remember a single thing from this. But from what I remember, I enjoyed it. The only thing I remember is like the cool shots of the road. It's like really weird. It feels like a fever dream, which I mean, yeah, it does. But like I have like little memories of the film in my head. It's really weird. And the guy, I don't know what he's called. Little small guy with a round head, the creepy smile. I sometimes just see him in the corner of my room when I'm trying to sleep. I got to see Jaws in freaking cinema. My sister loves sharks, and my mom was like, oh, by the way, Jaws is in cinema. And I was like, oh, well that's cool. It's the 50th anniversary. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And yeah, it was really weird to watch this in cinema. Yeah, it's pretty good. Steve, not the Minecraft movie. You might be thinking, Jacob, where's the Minecraft movie? You can't have rated that the best movie of this year. We're just gonna have to wait until the end to find out. But no, Steve. I only watched this because Cillian Murphy. But no, his performance is genuinely so good in this. Like, it feels so raw and emotional, you know? I feel like he could get nominated for an Oscar for this. I don't think he would win it, but I feel like he could get nominated. And like the cinematography is so cool. There's like a shot, it's like Adolescence, where like the camera is just like static on someone's face and then it just kind of flies away. And I'm like, what? When I was watching Adolescence, I was like, okay, I know the cameras do that. So I was expecting it. But then the camera just flies out the window. I'm like, where's it going? And then it full on just goes all the way around and just comes back. I was like, why is this camera a frisbee, bro? Avatar: The Way of the Water. I've never watched any of these Avatar movies. They're all like the exact same movie, but fire is better than normal and water is better than fire because water made me cry. I cried at an Avatar movie. That's the whitest thing possible. Before sunset. Some days I go to college at 1, so if I wake up early enough, I sometimes watch a film, not all the time. And this movie's not that long. It's like an hour 30, and I was like, yeah, I have enough time. So I put this on. If you don't know, this film is set in like real time. So like the guy has like an hour to spend with this girl, and like the time is like slowly ticking down, and it's supposed to be like trying to spend the time together before he has to leave again. And you're like, oh no, they only have half an hour left. But at the same time, I timed this like so badly. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be late, because I'm watching the movie and being like, oh no, they only have this amount left. But then I'm also looking at my bus times and being like, oh no, I only have this time left. So it's like I was as tense as the characters. It was really weird, but yeah, it's actually quite good. Blue Velvet. I like you, David Lynch. You're a cool guy. Now, we all know David Lynch's movies are weird. I didn't really specify why I didn't like Eraserhead, but basically because when you're making a weird movie, it's a lot harder than just doing like a standard movie, because you have to make it weird, of course, but also engaging. And I felt with Eraserhead, the same as Wes Anderson, it's like style over substance. Blue Velvet is a freaking weird movie, but I think you kind of have to balance the weirdness with the kind of like your standard like normal movie making, and you kind of have to like meet in the middle to find like the perfect spot. And I think Blue Velvet did that. Like it's like the perfect, you know, of weirdness. And then like Lost Highway is like swaying too much this way that I didn't really like remember much and couldn't really like grasp onto what was going on. And then like Eraserhead is just over here. Dune, I don't know what that is. That's just like somewhere up here. I don't know. But no, I really did like Blue Velvet. I'm gonna try and watch all of David Lynch's movies in 2026, and I think I will rewatch both Eraserhead, probably all of these actually, because I really did like them. Knives Out. Yeah, like I said, I watched all 3 of them, and yeah, I was watching this, and like Daniel Craig is a pretty British guy, and then like he's just kind of sat in the background, and then he speaks like this, and I'm like, what? What was he doing? And at first I was like, that is the most jarring American accent I've ever heard. I'm not gonna enjoy this. But you know what? He somehow pulls it off. He is a very good actor. I've never watched like any. I was gonna watch Queer that came out last year, but I forgot. And there's also James Bond. I never watched James Bond. I did like him in Nice Out, so I think I'm gonna watch them as well, because he's a good actor. Lady Bird, there's a Foyd movie, so I'm not going to review it. Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. This is basically just the Cade Noble biopic. Reservoir Dogs. Some of these movies, I just don't know what to... Like, what am I supposed to say about Reservoir Dogs? Oh, this was a good movie. I know, it's just a good movie. Casino. Yeah, like, what am I supposed to say about Casino? And just good acting. The colours are super nice. Like, all the outfits are sick, bro. Imagine being the freaking costume designer for this. It must be so fun. Adolescence. This counts as it's on Letterboxd. Anything that's on Letterboxd is on this that I've watched. Like, if some of Pyrocynical's videos are on Letterboxd, they would be on here. Like, again, what am I supposed to say about adolescence? It's just good. Like, I can't imagine watching this as a parent and like their perspective of what this. I don't think I could watch this if I was a parent. End of watch. Jake Gyllenhaal is bald and sexy. The Northman. I was gonna try to watch all of Robert Eggers' films. I forgot to watch The Witch. I realized that the other day. I was like, oh, I didn't watch that, but I'm gonna watch it soon. But yeah, The Northman, quite different from his other movies. There's no horror aspect. I was like, wait, what? Because I was just like, the Northman, that could be Willem Dafoe's like a creepy ghoul. And there is actually some like, I won't call it horror, but it's kind of like his vibe. It's like very haunting. Like at the start in the cabin, it's all the lighting is dark and gloomy. And like everything in this movie is just grey and miserable. I don't think there's a single bright colour in this. But genuinely, I don't know if Robert Eggers does the cinematography himself, but whoever's doing that cinematography, shout out to you. This is some of the best I've ever seen. Like his movies are genuinely so beautiful. I would say it's up there with like Stanley Kubrick, genuinely. I don't think it's at that level, but close. Like every shot just looks like a painting. It's like so amazing, genuinely. I love it. Django Unchained. I like this. I thought it would be better if it was a love story instead of a revenge story. It kind of sets that up to be like, oh, he's trying to get his wife back, but then she's just kind of like not a big part of it. I genuinely think I could rate this like a lot higher, but for some reason it was like, oh, he's just gonna go kill them all, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, if you want to do that, Jamie Foxx. Good Will Hunting. This was good. Will Hunting. Velma and Louise. I think road movies are just like, what's the word? Is it guilty pleasure? I don't like the word guilty pleasure because it sounds weird, but I think road movies, yeah, road movies are my guilty pleasure. I'll say that. Full Metal Jacket. Famously, this movie, the first half is very good and the second half is just good. And I completely agree. Like, I genuinely loved the first part. I thought it was amazing, but then it just kind of like hard cuts. And they're just at war, and it's like, I don't really care about this. Like, the last part was just kind of like, oh, okay. But the first part, genuinely amazing. I love the first part. If I could just rate the first half, this would be a lot higher. Fantastic Four. First Steps, I don't know what it's called. This was fantastic. The Social Network. I love when they make biopics about just white people. Please make more so I can watch all of them. The Disaster Artist. Now, obviously, I've heard of The Room, and I've always wanted to watch it. I was going to, but I don't know what happened. I just forgot. But this movie is about the making. You know if you don't know The Room, you must go watch The Room right now. I haven't watched it, but it looks amazing. But this movie is about the making of the movie The Room, and is so genuinely so funny. James Franco, you're a bad person, but you're a funny guy. Fargo. Like I said before, how I love the dialogue in Buried After Reading. This is like the dialogue turned to a max. Genuinely, I love it. So if I ever make like a proper film, I'm doing dialogue like this. It's so amazing. I love it. Good Time. I had a good time watching this. It's a Wonderful Life. I had a wonderful time watching this. I need to stop doing these. No, I watched this in cinema. It was actually kind of cool because this movie's like 80 years old. Yeah, 80 years old. And it's like watching that in cinema, it's so weird. I almost cried. I really wanted to cry watching it because I know it's like super sad. And I felt like my eyes watering. I was like, I'm gonna cry. And then I just didn't, and I was like, I wanted to cry, but I didn't. The Devil Wears Prada. Yes, women watching this video right now, I like this film. I like watching women films. Another Kubrick film, 2001, A Space Odyssey. I think this is like the same type of movie as Eraserhead, but I actually like this one. See, like, it's obviously extremely slow, and like not much happens, like Eraserhead, and the first half an hour bored out of my mind. I was tempted of turning off, and I was like, wait, I need to give this a chance. I never turn off a movie halfway because, I don't know, it just don't feel right. I can see why he is one of the best filmmakers of all time, because like everything just works so well. Like, I don't know how you have the mindset to make this kind of film. I don't get the first half an hour. Like, the monkeys, boring as hell. Why are the monkeys there? Get rid of them. I think I could rate this a 5 if they want for the boring monkey part. Another space movie, Gravity. Like with the Kubrick film, like, how do you make this kind of film? I genuinely don't know, because Kubrick's is all indoor. No one's like flying around. This, almost all of it's outdoor, and it's like they had to like invent new technology to make that. Kubrick did that as well for his. Like, these movies are very similar, but just like one's, is it like 60 years? Yeah, it'll be like 50 years in the future, and it's like they're both awesome. Like, I don't really care for sci-fi, but like these are, I like this kind of sci-fi. Just like, oh no, stuff's going wrong in space because nobody can hear you if you scream in space or some, I don't know. The Machinist, Body Girls, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This one is the best. If you think the other two are better, you're a fool. Because the first one is cool, it's like an origin story. An origin story is good, but it's never gonna be as interesting as freaking monkeys riding around horses, fighting people in like zombie world. It looks like The Last of Us or whatever. And there's people with like full-on tanks, and then there's just this really cool shot of just a monkey in a tank, and it's like the monkeys are cool and good. I love them. I'm gonna rewatch all of them. I try not to rewatch films, but I'm gonna rewatch the Planet of the Apes films. Alien Romulus. I've only watched the first two Aliens. I didn't like the first one. It was boring. The second one, pretty good. I like Aliens. And then this one. I assume all Alien films are just the same because all of them three are the same. Nobody knows this, but I love VFX. I could never do them because I just don't have that kind of mindset. I don't have that patience to like learn like 5 different programs and then have to like spend 10 hours rendering a thing just for it to go wrong, because it is quite similar to editing, just a lot more fancy. But no, the VFX in this, freaking crazy, bro. Like the shot of when the spaceship hits the rings of the planet, one of the most beautiful shots I've ever seen. I don't even know what it is. The like hybrid, what, I don't, if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. What is it called? The freaking, I can't say what it is because it spoils the movie. Basically, there's a xenomorph, but it looks a bit different. Most scariest thing I've ever seen. Do you know that one SCP? It's like really skinny and tall, and it runs like this. It's in Roblox. It looks like that. Genuinely, I did not expect that at all. Good filming, good writing, a complete unknown. I've obviously heard of Bob Dylan before I watched this, but like I didn't know any songs. Literally, the only thing I knew about it is that My Chemical Romance covered one of his songs, so that's pretty cool. But I never listened to him. And then I was like, okay, it's Timothy Chalamet, it'll probably be good. I'll watch it. And I was like, this guy makes good music. It is a good movie as well, but I was more like, this guy makes good music, and it's like Timothy Chalamet covering his songs, so I assume the originals are like 10 times better. But I just never heard his song, and I've started listening. I listened to Highway 61 Revisited, pretty good album, and I love some of his songs. Genuinely, they're very good. But no, the film's actually very good. I enjoyed it, and then I enjoyed it so much that I just watched it again. I never do that. I never like watch a film, then like a few days later I rewatch. I never do that, but I did with this one. Like I rate this a 4. It's not a 4.5 or a 5. It's a 4, and I rewatched it again. I was like, okay. Do you know the bit where he performs at the Newport Folk Festival near the end? The first time I felt my eyes watering. It's like, I don't know this guy. I don't like, if I listen to this guy, you'd expect me to cry at that. I don't know why, but then the second time watching it, I cried. It's not even that, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I didn't even know who this guy was before I watched this, but I cried. And then I was at my dad's house, and then I just didn't know what to watch. So I was like, do you want to watch this? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I watched this film 3 times this year. I don't even listen to Bob Dylan that much, but you know, I enjoyed it. It's a good movie. Requiem for a Dream. I love when Jared Leto either decides to be Tron Ares or give one of the best performances I've ever seen. You know, it's either 50-50 with him. You never know. Brothers, you guys should watch this film. It's just about this like happy family, and there's just 2 brothers and they're best friends, and it's like, it's so wholesome. You should watch it. Train Dreams. No, this was really cool. I don't know what you call, like, there's some styles of films that just don't have names. Like, I don't know what to call this style of film. It's quite similar to like some of A24 style because it has like the film cameras. I think when cinematography is good is when you like feel what is happening, because this is set in like Washington, I think, or like British Columbia, somewhere up there, and like it has like the big tall trees and like the fog because it rains a lot there. There's the dampness of the air. It feels like I'm in like a 4D cinema because you can feel the dampness of the air when watching this. Every single shot is so well made because it will start in with like an extreme zoom in and then just zoom out, and then you're like, okay, zooming out, and then it will carry on zooming out, and it will carry on zooming out, and the camera's like 10 miles away and it was like extreme close up. And I'm like, bro, what are these lenses? But this movie is like extremely simple. Like nothing happens, but everything that does happen is amazing. You watch this, go watch it. It's so nice, genuinely, it's so beautiful. Adaptation. Now, I think Nicolas Cage just isn't my generation. So literally the only thing I knew about Nicolas Cage was that he has a funny voice and he's Ghost Rider. And I had never seen any of his other films. I should probably watch some. I didn't watch Longlegs the other year. I probably should have watched that. And I will watch Wild at Heart. Adaptation. This has good reviews. I'll watch it. And I did not expect to like this as much as I did. He's genuinely like very good in this. Like he's so good at just playing like it's some depressed chud. Like I love it. Basically, he's a screenwriter and he's trying to adapt this book, but within writing you normally have to have conflict in a story for it to like work well. And basically he's trying to adapt a book that this woman wrote where she followed this I don't know the word, like it's not a herbologist but a plant person. This guy basically trying to find this really rare flower, and he's trying to adapt that book into a screenplay for a movie, but he can't because the book doesn't have conflict. And like he's so set on wanting the screenplay to not be like, not of drama, not of any action, none of that like kind of like Hollywood kind of stuff. And the film basically, for the first hour, is just kind of him struggling to do that. But then because he has, his twin brother is a successful writer, he suggests maybe you should add conflict. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll try that. But then when he adds conflict to the screenplay, the film itself, the film adaptation, which you are watching, also gains conflict because he goes out to the woman's house and finds she's sleeping with the guy that was trying to find the flower. And there's like a full-on like action chase scene. So when he decides to add conflict to his screenplay, the film itself and his life also gains conflict and action. At first I was watching this, I was like, I'm trying to see where this is going. And then that happened, I was like, wait, this is actually like genius filmmaking. I want to rewatch this. It was genuinely so. This is like one of the big reasons I love film, because like a film like this can exist. I'm genuinely amazed by this. Ford versus Ferrari, or Ford v Ferrari, there's no S, I don't know. I don't like cars. Like the most I like cars is this cool Lamborghini, Lego Lamborghini I have, pretty cool. But most people have a dream car. I like a Mazda Miata, like I'll be happy with that. But for some reason this movie, I just really liked it. Like he's just kind of racing along and he's like, he's speaking like this. And I'm just like, this is really good. I couldn't care less whether Ford or Ferrari beat some stupid race. I couldn't care less. But this movie made me care about it. Bugurnia. I don't know how to say his name. Yorgos Lanthimos. Yorgos Lanthimos. I never watched, I'm not even gonna try. I never watched any of his films, but like Poor Things, I was gonna watch that, then I didn't, I don't know why. And The Lobster as well, I've been wanting to watch them too. But then Bugurnia came out this year and I was like, yeah, sure. And I love this. It's like, he's genuinely so disgusting. Like this film is so gross because they use film cameras and they have it like ultra detail. And you can see like every pore on the face, and you can see all the sweat and grease dripping down their forehead. Emma Stone's bald and covered in slime for some reason, and it's so gross and disgusting, but then like also like extremely well made. And then there's a crazy plot twist at the end, and I love that, because the plot twist, I was just like, what? And I love that. Like you could make a boring film about some guy who kidnaps a CEO, or you could make this, which is so much more cool. And I think that's the difference between like a 3.5 and a 4.5. I gave this a 4.5. A Fistful of Dollars. I was gonna watch the whole trilogy for a few more dollars and Good, Bad, and Ugly, and I just forgot. I'm so bad at this. I always forget to watch stuff. But no, I watched this one, and like, I don't really like older films. I like, my favorite kind of films is the 2000s, because that's when I feel like filmmaking like truly was like, we know what we're doing and we can do everything we can. It doesn't have like the kind of like Netflix production as it does now. Obviously not all films now, but I just like the 2000s. I think that's when films were the best. But no, this is the 70s, like early 70s, I think. I was just gonna be like, yeah, this is a good film, but I actually like enjoyed it as well as thinking it's a good film. There's two different like categories for me, because I can think a film is good and then I can like a film. I did both with this. Like, it's just so simple. It's just some guy with no name, he runs in a town and he just messes with people. But no, it's genuinely very good. I enjoyed this. I'm gonna watch the two others, and I think I will rate The Good, the Bad, the Ugly a 5. If this is a 4.5, I think I will rate The Good, the Bad, the Ugly a 5. Inception. Yeah, I'm cool. I understood what was going on. I'm a genius. Frankenstein. I had never watched any of Guillermo del Toro's films before. I think I did that right. But no, I just never seen any of his films before. Like, I was gonna watch Pan's Labyrinth, but I just didn't. I didn't watch the Pinocchio film, and I don't really care about Pacific Rim, but I think it's good, so I'll watch that one day. I saw the trailer, and normally when I see a trailer, I'm like, oh, that looks good. But when I saw this trailer, I was like, this looks really good. Because every trailer looks the same, but this one actually interested me. The cinematography, I don't know how you become this good at cinematography, because every shot is so beautiful. If when you're watching a film, if you see a beautiful shot, oh, that's quite a nice shot. But when every single shot is just so well crafted and looks like an art piece, it's like, it's genuinely amazing. Like, how do you just do that? I'm so annoyed. Why was this not shown at cinemas? I know it was in America, but it wasn't in the UK. Why? I don't want to watch this on Netflix. I want to watch it in a cinema. But no, this was really good. I like how like the gothic genre of film is kind of coming back this year with like Nosferatu and now with Frankenstein. I hope Guillermo del Toro does some more. I did it right. I think that was right. Oh, I'm a genius. I hope he does more like gothic films like this. Same Robert Eggers. He's doing Werewolf next year. I hope that's good. Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Now my sister was like, hey, I watched this film. It's about these drag queens. It's pretty cool. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll watch that. But I love this. It was so good. It was so fun. And like the casting is so good. Like to get Patrick Swayze as one of the drag queens, genuinely so good. Like to get men that are like quite masculine men and then they play these characters like so good. Like Wesley Snipes is literally Blade. I actually love this. I was tempted to rate it a 5, but I don't know why. I think I might actually rate this a 5 when I rewatch this, because I really want to watch this because it was really funny. But no, thank you, Julie Newmar, for this. Suspiria, I just saw some clips of this and it was like, ooh, look at these funky lights, the green and the red. I just love films that are beautiful. You can see that's a recurring theme of all these films I've rated quite high. The use of color in this film, so good. I like how badly it's made. There's a scene where someone falls in barbed wire, but because the film, like the budget was so low, the barbed wire is just like random. It's just, I don't even know. It's like plastic, and there's just some girl writhing around, and then you can tell it's not barbed wire. I think that makes it better, because if it was like extremely realistic, then I think that would like make the film less interesting, because the set design and like the cinematography and all the colors is so beautiful. I love it. Ex Machina. I don't know why this isn't called Ex Machina. I know Ex Machina is like a thing, but I think Ex Machina is way more cooler. But you know, whatever. This was really good. Just some sexy robots, sexy AI robots, and then the guy from Harry Potter is in it, so you know. Hair. Me when you ask me what is on my head. Hair. No, I love it when Joaquin Phoenix plays a depressed person. So yeah, I like this. The Sixth Sense. 6, 7. Normally plot twists, they don't get me. I don't want to sound like an intellect, but I can normally see them coming. Because I expected a horror movie, because it is like labeled as a horror movie. This isn't a horror movie. There's like 2 kinda scary scenes. This film isn't scary. And I can't say what the plot twist is, because it spoils it. But then after the plot twist, I'm like, okay, it is a horror. I was genuinely amazed, because like the ring on the floor, and I'm like, wait, wait. Like the moment of realization in my brain, I wish I could have recorded it. It's like, you could see the neurons firing. How could I have not seen that? He literally gets thingied at the start, and then there's no like explanation of what happened. I'm such a closed-minded fool. How could I not understood that? But no, really good, yeah. I have on DVD. I'm glad I got it on DVD, because I can watch it whenever. The Big Lebowski, another Coen film. I normally find it hard to rate a comedy film, because they're funny, like they do what they're supposed to do, but they normally aren't well made. Like the funniest film I've ever watched is Step Brothers, but that isn't a well made movie. The jokes, very good, they're some of the best, but like the actual film itself is just alright. So I find it hard to rate that high. And like there's a few exceptions on here, like The Disaster Artist or Fargo. This is actually one of the first films that is a comedy, and I've actually rated like very high, because this is so like well made. I've said this like 3 times in this video, but like I don't know how they write comedy for these characters. I'm just so amazed by like how they do it. The Lighthouse. I love you, Robert Eggers. Please continue to make films about weird people that lived 100 years ago. Nosferatu. I watched this in cinema. This is the 5th time I've said this, but I hate horror films. But I said this earlier, how I love Robert Eggers. And this one was the first I had watched of all his films. I think this is like the perfect film for me, because I like horror as a thing, but I find horror films are lazily made. But then a film like this is so well made, and like I think his style with like the wide shots, and it's just grey and gritty. My hands were so clammy, and it was a simple scene. The camera literally just slowly pans to the left. There's nothing there. It slowly pans to the right. There's nothing there, and it ends. But I love that. It's so tense. It makes you feel like, oh no, something's gonna happen, but then it doesn't. I love his style so much. Like a normal film would just be like the camera would go in, and then oops, hi guys, I'm in this room, not the monster. But no, like literally nothing happens in that scene, and it's like it makes it 10 times better than like any other horror film. Oppenheimer. And I said this before, I think I have, like my brain has developed to know what an actual good film is, because at the start of the year, I rated The Dark Knight a 3.5. Don't question that. And then I watched Oppenheimer, I rated that a 3. But then over the course of like April, it was sometime in April time, I was like, wait, I actually have, like, I felt like I transcended to like a newer, higher being, because now I actually understand films, and I can understand that this is an amazingly made film. Like, this is a perfect film. I think this is a perfect film, and I love it so much. But you might be thinking, but Jacob, this is a 4.5. Why have you rated this a 4.5? Because of the freaking nuke. Are we serious? The whole movie, like 2.5 hours. No, it's at the 2 hour mark. Yeah, I remember. The 2 hour mark, the nuke drops. It's a freaking petrol bomb, bro. Are we serious? It's practical, so shut up. Like, I haven't watched Twin Peaks, but the nuke in that, sick. If you're making a nuke scene, you want to make it the craziest thing possible. Like the nuke in Terminator 2, or is it Terminator 1? I'm trying to think. I don't know, but whichever one it is, sick. And then you have this, which is just, it's not about the size of the nuke, it's about the damage it does. That's probably Christopher Nolan's justification. Parasite. I originally rated this a 5, because this is a perfect movie, but I just hate when films have sex scenes. There's no need for a film to include a sex scene. There's literally zip. I say that, and then there is one in Oppenheimer. Ignore that. But like, I was watching this film, I was like, this is a perfect film. I watched this twice. I was like, this is a perfect film. I'm gonna rate this a 5. But then like, there's a sex scene, and I'm like, it just ruins it. If you cut that, this is a perfect film. I don't want to see that. I'll hear that. I'm trying to watch a film. Superman. Superman. More like super work. You tell me I rate this for 4.5. It's work, bro. It's a 2.5. Sinners. It should be a sin to make a movie this good. Because like, what the heck? We have like these crazy white people, and they're vampires, and they're also Klansmen. White people, when you turn off Moist Critical, am I right? Interstellar. Some of these films, I just have nothing to say. What am I supposed to say about Interstellar? The Elephant Man. Here we go. We're finally at the 5 stars. I didn't rate Interstellar 5. I don't know why. I'm a fool. Be mad at me. Please do it. It'll hurt my feelings. There's 3 movies I cry at the most. How to Train Your Dragon, which just I don't know what that does to me. I cry through the full thing. It's not even that sad. There's like a few sad scenes, but I just cry randomly. I don't know why. My eyes are watering just thinking about it. What's wrong with me? And Guardians of the Galaxy 3, at the end, when he gets reunited with his dad, I cry so much at that. And this is number 3 spot, The Elephant Man, because I was sad through the full thing, because obviously it's a very sad movie. I think it's when he gets beat up, and then I cried like at the end in the iconic moment when he's like, I'm not an elephant, I'm a human being. And then I cried at the end part when he's like watching the play. Like the movie ended and I was just sat there watching the credits, and then I cried again. It's so amazing. I'm gonna rewatch all of David Lynch's films. Dead Poet Society. I don't know why, but I get confused between this and Good Will Hunting. I think because the posters are both like yellow. I went to watch Dead Poet Society, but then I watched Good Will Hunting. So then I finished Good Will Hunting. I was like, okay, now I need to watch Dead Poet Society. Well, if you have Robin Williams as kind of like a philosopher kind of character, is gonna be beautiful. He's genuinely so well spoken in this, and like the things he says, it makes you think. It's like the Matrix, but normal. And then that, like the big I was not expecting that to happen, you know, when that one guy, you know, I did not expect that. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I just never watched this one as well. It's like the first one, but a different story. So it's the second best Spider-Man film. Don't kill me. Better than Sam Raimi. One battle after another. Okay. Why have I just never watched any of Paul Thomas Anderson films before? Not only have I not watched his, I never heard of him. Like, I had some of his films in my watch list. Obviously, There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. But I had just never heard of, like, I don't even heard his name. I'm going to watch all of his films now, because this was amazing. Best film of this year, yes. And I was like, okay, Paul Thomas Anderson. They made a very good movie. Let's see his other movies. A 4.3. Oh, a 4.2. All his films are amazing. Why has nobody told me about this guy? Why have I never... Like, he should be up there with Scorsese or Spielberg or whatever. But he's just not. Like, I know people like his film, but why have I never heard of him before? Like, people should know about this guy. I'm acting like he's like the most niche person ever, but I just don't understand. It was so cool to watch a film like this in cinema. It felt like I was watching like Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back. It feels like the same kind of thing. Like a modern classic. Is that the right word? Yeah, I think that's it, a modern classic. My favorite thing is that Ben Shapiro said he didn't like this movie, and the only reason he doesn't like it is because the white supremacists are portrayed as bad guys. I don't like how I'm being portrayed in this movie. Mad Max Fury how do you say this? Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max Fury. I can't say it. I don't care. Whatever. I just put this on because, you know, it's like weird people driving cars. That's cool, I guess. But why is this a perfect movie? I don't know if you've realized, I don't give things a 5. There's like 8 movies out of the like 190 or whatever on this list. You know, the films here are amazing, but like, why is this perfect? What? I've known this is a good movie, and I expect it to be like, oh, this is good, but a 5. I'd never give anything a 5. I was like, am I actually about to give this a 5? I feel like I shouldn't, but like, this is a good movie. Sing Sing. I wish I could sing about this movie because it's so good. But no, this is a very good movie. It made me cry. Okay, the big moment. The best movie I watched this year. You might be thinking, there's so many options of what it could be, but can we get a drum roll? It was Whiplash. That was a joke because he's a drummer and he plays the drums. But no, I don't think I've sweated so much while watching a film. I would have hated to watch this movie with myself because I'd be like, he smells. Not like I smell quite good. I'd say, whatever. It was a joke. Like most people, they sweat when they like exercise or go to the gym or whatever. But then there's me who's never exercised a day in his life and is sweating while watching a movie about drumming. I'm such a chud. I don't think there's anyone more deserving than an Oscar than J.K. Simmons in this role. Because like how do you just wake up as like J.K. Simmons? You'd be like, wait, what the heck? Why am I J.K. Simmons? How do you just wake up and you're like, okay, I have to play this character. Like, I don't understand how you get in that mindset to be like, because he embodies Fletcher like so amazingly. I think this is how I rate a 5, because I'm like blown away of how good it is. Like, this doesn't feel like a real movie, because I do media, so I'm supposed to study film. So when something happens, I'm like, that was the equilibrium of the intro, I don't know. But like a film like this, I just can't, because of like how well done it is. My brain, it just shuts off, and I'm like, this is just a good movie. I can't analyze this. This is a quote from Guillermo del Toro. Said his name right. But when he casts his characters, he looks at the eyes. So with Jacob Elordi, his eyes are like quite sweet, but also have some hostility, so he can play the monster. Just look at J.K. Simmons' eyes in this. Like, there's that one close-up of just the eyes, and like, he is not J.K. Simmons, he is Fletcher. There's no J.K. Simmons, there's no guy from Spider-Man. This is Fletcher. And I just feel bad for Miles Teller for having to act as this character and have to interact with Fletcher. The filming for this film, it was literally like a month only, and like, imagine having to deal with that for just a month straight. Like, I couldn't do that. Genuinely, these two, amazing. I love you both. I like how Miles Teller did Whiplash, and then a year later, he did the Fantastic Four movie, so good job, Miles. Okay, guys, that's the end of the video. Minecraft movie. People rate movies as a joke, like a 5. Like, they'll watch like War of the Worlds and go as a joke, oh, this is a 5. I don't do that. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks, I rate that fairly. I rate that a 3.5. Higher than Eraserhead, by the way. And Oldboy. And Blade Runner. But no, I don't rate movies as a joke. I watched Minecraft in like late April or whenever it was, I don't remember. Sat in that cinema every time Jack Black goes Ender Pearl or whatever, and then like the whole cinema just erupts. That experience is a 5. I haven't actually said this, but the way I rate movies is kind of like experience and enjoyability and actually how good the film is. So a film like Eraserhead, I know it's a good movie. I didn't enjoy it. My experience watching it wasn't good. That's why it's low. But a movie like Minecraft movie, it's not a good movie, but my viewing experience, the best film I've watched in the cinema, like the best cinema experience was I watched one battle after another in the cinema, by the way. Minecraft movie, I had a better time, you know? I think back to this film, and it just doesn't feel real. Like, how was this a thing? Like, at the time, I was like, oh, that's funny, it's Minecraft, and he says chicken jockey. But thinking back, now that it's December, almost January, I'm like, what? What happened? And yeah, I went with my friends, and it was amazing. And then my other friend was like, I didn't watch this. And I was like, do you want to just go again? I'll watch it again if you want. And he was like, yeah, sure. So I watched it like a few days later, and then I got home, and then my mum was like, hey, do you want to go see the Minecraft movie? Yeah. My thought pattern was, okay, I could tell her I've watched it twice already, but then she wouldn't take me again. So I was just like, oh yeah, I really want to watch it. It looks fun. And then while watching it, I just turned out and went, by the way, I've seen this twice. But no, I rated it 5 every time. And like the experience, the first time, genuinely amazement. The second time, I was about to say spoilers. Do you care if I spoil the mic? I missed when Jared Leto, sorry, he's just in my mind constantly. No, I missed where Jason Momoa died. I went to the toilet and I missed that part. So the second time I was like, oh, that's where he was the whole movie. He died, but then he didn't actually. But I cried. Both times amazing. And then when I was with my mum, it was so sweet to see her laugh at like Chicken Jockey and like Jack Black just saying stuff. Cause like she doesn't know about the Chicken Jockey stuff. She just finds it funny and it's so sweet. But no, I need to rewatch this because I can't rate this a 5. I'm gonna rewatch this and rate it like a 3. But yeah, that's all the movies. I don't know if anybody's watching this right now, but if you are, thank you. Like, thank you for watching this. Just me talk about stuff for freaking ages. But no, this I just copied off Memulous and made this video a year ago, and it was so fun to film. I knew I liked film, but I didn't know I really liked film at the time, so I enjoyed film last time. This time, I love filming this and writing all the reviews. I loved it. This was my favorite video to make of this year. I literally, like, as soon as I finished the 2024 one, I was like, I just want to film the 2025 one. So I had an idea. Instead of doing this yearly, because you think I'm gonna wait 365 days for this, I'm gonna do it monthly. So yeah, I'm gonna do this every month. I'm gonna recap up everything I watched, including TV shows, because I watched Severance and Pluribus and Stranger Things. I can't talk about them because this is a movie video. I was thinking of calling it like last month I watched, or like what I watched last month. I don't know. If you like any of them, just comment them down below. But no, thank you for watching this. Such a long video. Yeah, I'll see you in a month's time, or maybe never again.